The scent hit Zorp first, a symphony of sizzling beef, tangy pickles, and something sweet and creamy he couldn't quite place. He wrinkled his snout, which, thankfully, was hidden beneath a convincing human nose. He watched the human child unwrap the paper, revealing a layered tower of deliciousness. This Big Mac, as the humans called it, was the key to their mission. Gleepglorp, Zorp's partner, shifted impatiently beside him. "Are you going to stare at it all day, Zorp? We didn't travel light years just to watch a juvenile consume processed bovine." Zorp bristled, but he knew Gleepglorp was right. They had a mission: understand this human obsession with food. Specifically, this Big Mac. He'd been chosen for this mission because he was the bravest of his planet. He approached the discarded burger, the human child already halfway through a second one. With a deep breath, Zorp plucked it from the trash. He brushed off a stray leaf, his 3 hearts pounding. This was it. He hesitantly brought the burger to his disguised mouth. He worried it might ruin his disguise, he worried it might be horrible. He took a bite. His eyes widened. The explosion of flavors was unlike anything he had ever experienced. The tangy sauce, the juicy beef, the soft bun, it was a masterpiece. A culinary revelation. Beside him, Gleepglorp scoffed. "Is it really that good? You look like you've seen the Galactic Emperor himself." Zorp, unable to speak, could only nod vigorously, crumbs of Big Mac clinging to his fake human mustache. He shoved the rest of the burger into his mouth, a primal growl escaping his throat. This was more than just food, it was bliss. Gleepglorp, ever the skeptic, snatched the remaining corner of the burger. He took a tiny nibble. His eyes went wide, mirroring Zorp's earlier expression. He devoured the rest in 2 bites. "By the great Glargan," Gleepglorp exclaimed, his voice uncharacteristically reverent. "We need more of these Big Macs." Their mission had just changed. It wasn't about understanding human culture anymore. It was about acquiring an unlimited supply of this magnificent creation. They glanced at each other, a shared understanding passing between them. They needed to find the source. They needed to find the one who made these burgers. They needed to find Kevin. "He's the one," Zorp whispered, pointing a disguised finger at a young man behind the counter, efficiently assembling Big Macs. Kevin, his name tag read. Kevin, the key to their happiness. Gleepglorp adjusted his ill-fitting human suit. "Are you certain? He just looks like a human. A rather greasy one, at that." Zorp swatted Gleepglorp's arm. "He handles those patties with the grace of a Glargonian chef. Observe." They watched Kevin with intense focus, their alien eyes narrowed behind their human disguises. He moved with a practiced ease, layering lettuce, cheese, and sauce with precision. He smiled at the customers, his genuine warmth radiating even from behind the counter. "See? Kindness," Zorp exclaimed. "Efficiency. He is a master of the Big Mac." Gleepglorp grumbled, but even he had to admit, Kevin seemed special. He wasn't just flipping burgers, he was creating art. Edible art. All right, Gleepglorp conceded. "He's competent. But abducting him? Isn't that a bit extreme? Couldn't we just, ask him for the recipe?" Zorp shook his head. Humans are secretive about their recipes. Besides, what if he refuses? We need a guaranteed supply. And think of the glory. We'll be heroes on Glargan 7. The saviors of taste. The plan was simple, but audacious. Wait for Kevin to finish his shift, then invite him to Glargan 7 for an extended stay. They would promise him riches, fame, and, of course, an unlimited supply of Big Macs. What could go wrong? Remember, Zorp cautioned, no vaporizing anyone. We need to be discreet. And try to smile more. You look like you're about to dissect a frog. Gleepglorp attempted a smile, which resembled more of a grimace. He needed to work on his human expressions. As Kevin's shift ended, they put the plan into action. As Kevin walked out of the fast food restaurant, Zorp and Gleepglorp followed at a distance. The time for discussion was over. It was time to secure their future, one Big Mac at a time. The fate of Glargan, 7, and possibly the entire galaxy, rested on their shoulders. And on Kevin's ability to make a truly magnificent Big Mac. Kevin hummed a cheerful tune, oblivious to the two figures trailing him. He clutched his worn-out backpack, eager to get home and play his new video game. He never suspected that he was about to be whisked away on an intergalactic adventure, all thanks to his skill in crafting the perfect Big Mac. Zorp and Gleepglorp kept their distance, careful not to arouse suspicion. They activated the cloaking device on their compact spaceship, which was disguised as a beat-up ice cream truck parked a block away. The plan was to intercept Kevin before he reached his apartment. "Remember the code phrase," Zorp reminded Gleepglorp. "Greetings, Earthling. We require your culinary expertise." Gleepglorp practiced the phrase under his breath, his human vocal cords struggling with the pronunciation. "Greetings, Earthling. We require your culinary expertise." Zorp sighed. "Just stick to the plan. I'll do the talking." As Kevin rounded the corner, Zorp and Gleepglorp sprang into action. They darted in front of him, blocking his path. "Greetings, Earthling," Zorp announced, trying to sound friendly. "We are admirers of your work." Kevin, startled, stumbled backward. "Whoa. Hey, guys. Can I help you?" Zorp gestured grandly. "We have a proposition for you, Kevin. An opportunity beyond your wildest dreams. A chance to revolutionize the cuisine of an entire planet." Kevin blinked, clearly confused. I just make burgers." Gleepglorp, unable to contain himself, blurted out, "The most glorious burgers in the galaxy." Kevin's eyebrows shot up. "Galaxy? Are you guys cosplayers?" Zorp groaned inwardly. This wasn't going according to plan. He needed to be more persuasive. "Kevin," Zorp said, lowering his voice. "We know your secret. We know the magic you weave into every Big Mac. We offer you a lifetime supply of ingredients, a state-of-the-art kitchen, and the adoration of billions, if you come with us to Glargan, 7. He paused for effect. Kevin looked from Zorp to Gleepglorp, then back to Zorp, his expression a mixture of fear and disbelief. Zorp hoped the promise of unlimited Big Mac ingredients would be enough to seal the deal. He just hoped Kevin wouldn't scream. Kevin stared at them, his mouth agape. "Glargan, 7. A lifetime supply of special sauce. Are you serious?" Zorp nodded earnestly. "Deadly serious, Kevin. We wouldn't joke about something as important as Big Macs." He gestured towards the dilapidated ice cream truck parked down the street. "Our transportation awaits. Think of it as a culinary exchange program. A chance to share your gift with the universe." Gleepglorp chimed in, "Plus, we have a jacuzzi filled with mayonnaise. If you're into that sort of thing." Kevin's eyes widened. A jacuzzi filled with mayonnaise? That was, certainly a perk. But the whole situation was just too bizarre. Aliens offering him fame and fortune for making burgers. It sounded like a prank. "Look, guys," Kevin said, scratching his head. "I appreciate the offer, but I really gotta get home. I have a new level to beat on Galaxy Gladiators." Zorp frowned. He hadn't anticipated resistance. He activated a small device on his wrist, emitting a low hum. Suddenly, a beam of light enveloped Kevin, lifting him gently off the ground. "Hey! What are you doing?" Kevin yelled, flailing his arms. "Just a little persuasion," Zorp explained, his voice strained. "We wouldn't want you to miss your appointment with destiny." Gleepglorp rushed to open the back of the ice cream truck, revealing a surprisingly spacious interior filled with blinking lights and strange contraptions. "Welcome aboard, Chef Kevin. Prepare for warp speed." As Kevin floated helplessly towards the truck, he couldn't help but feel a strange mix of terror and excitement. He was being abducted by aliens. And all because of his Big Macs. Maybe this wouldn't be so bad after all. With a final shove, Kevin was inside the truck. The doors slammed shut, and the ice cream truck, now cloaked, zoomed into the sky, leaving Earth behind. Kevin was on his way to Glargon 7, ready to become the Big Mac master of the universe. He only hoped they had good internet. He really wanted to beat that level on Galaxy Gladiators. The journey to Glargon 7 was bumpy, to say the least. Kevin, strapped into a makeshift seat fashioned from old ice cream tubs, bounced around as the ship hurtled through space. Gleepglorp, piloting with a joystick that looked suspiciously like a melted popsicle, kept accidentally activating the "Sprinkles" button, coating Kevin in a fine layer of multicolored goo. "Are we there yet?" Kevin asked for the 10th time, trying to wipe the goo from his face. "Almost." Zorp chirped, adjusting his human disguise, which was starting to slip. One of his antennae was poking out from under his wig. "Just a few more light years. Prepare to be amazed, Kevin. Glargon 7 is a paradise, a Big Mac paradise." As they approached the planet, Kevin gasped. Glargon 7 was a vibrant swirl of orange, yellow, and red, resembling a giant, cosmic burger. Giant rivers of cheese sauce flowed across the landscape, and mountains of sesame seeds dotted the horizon. "Whoa," Kevin breathed. "It really is a burger paradise." The ship landed with a gentle thud in a bustling city square. The Glargonians, short, round creatures with 6 eyes and a penchant for bright colors, swarmed the ship, chanting, "Big Mac! Big Mac! Big Mac!" Zorp and Gleepglorp beamed with pride. They had brought salvation to their planet. "Welcome to Glargon 7, Kevin," Zorp announced. "Prepare to be treated like a king. Or, at least, a very important burger chef." Kevin was escorted to a magnificent kitchen, equipped with the most advanced culinary technology he had ever seen. There were automated patty makers, laser-guided lettuce choppers, and a special sauce dispenser that could create any flavor imaginable. "This is amazing," Kevin stammered, overwhelmed by the sheer scale of it all. "Now, Kevin," Zorp said, clapping him on the back. "The fate of Glargon 7 rests in your hands. We need Big Macs, and we need them now." Kevin took a deep breath, a smile spreading across his face. He knew what he had to do. It was time to show these aliens what a real Big Mac was all about. He just hoped they appreciated his secret ingredient, a pinch of love. And maybe a little extra pickle. Kevin wasted no time. He donned a sparkling chef's hat, a gift from Zorp, and got to work. He meticulously crafted each Big Mac, ensuring every patty was perfectly cooked, every slice of lettuce was crisp, and every dollop of special sauce was just right. The Glargonians lined up for blocks, their 6 eyes gleaming with anticipation. As they tasted Kevin's Big Macs, their faces lit up with pure joy. They cheered, they danced, they even shed tears of happiness. Kevin had become a culinary sensation. Word of Kevin's Big Mac spread like wildfire across Glargon 7. Soon, everyone wanted a taste. Kevin opened multiple restaurants, each more extravagant than the last. He even created a Big Mac drive-thru that stretched across the entire planet. He experimented with new flavors and variations. There was the Glargonator, a Big Mac with extra cheese sauce and a fried Glargonian egg. There was the Cosmic Crunch, a Big Mac with crushed asteroid rocks for added texture. And, of course, there was the classic Big Mac, the one that started it all. Kevin became a celebrity. He appeared on Glargonian television, starred in commercials, and even had his own line of Big Mac-themed merchandise. He was living the dream, a fast food worker turned intergalactic superstar. But amidst all the fame and fortune, Kevin never forgot his roots. He made sure every Big Mac was made with love and care, just like he did back on Earth. He even tried to teach the Glargonians how to make them, but they just couldn't replicate his magic touch. He still missed Earth, though. He missed his family, his friends, and his video games. He tried to contact them, but the intergalactic communications were unreliable. He hoped they were doing okay and that they hadn't forgotten about him. Little did he know, back on Earth, his disappearance had sparked a chain of events that would soon lead to an intergalactic war. A war fought over Big Macs. A war that would test the limits of human and Glargonian relations. A war that would be known as the Burger War. Back on Earth, Kevin's disappearance had not gone unnoticed. His mom, bless her heart, had reported him missing when he didn't show up for Sunday dinner. The local police were baffled. A missing person case with no leads. Then, things got weird. A team of scientists at a top-secret government facility, known as Area 51.5, intercepted a strange transmission. It was garbled and filled with static, but they managed to decipher a few key words: Big Mac, special sauce, and Glargon 7. The scientists, fueled by conspiracy theories and late-night caffeine binges, jumped to a conclusion. Aliens had abducted Kevin and were forcing him to make Big Macs for them. They imagined him slaving away in an alien kitchen, his culinary genius being exploited for the benefit of extraterrestrial overlords. "They're using him," exclaimed Dr. Arbutus, the lead scientist, slamming his fist on the table. "They're stealing our precious Big Mac technology." Generalissimo Reginald, a stern-faced military man with a penchant for declaring war, puffed out his chest. "This is an act of aggression. We cannot allow these Glargonians to exploit our citizens and steal our burger secrets." Despite lacking any real evidence, the government decided to act. They assembled a fleet of spaceships, armed with the latest in burger-related weaponry. There were patty projectiles, missiles filled with supersized beef patties, and fry fighters, small, nimble crafts that launched volleys of hot, crispy French fries. The mission was clear: rescue Kevin and reclaim Earth's rightful place as the Big Mac capital of the galaxy. They dubbed the operation Burger Freedom. As the Earth fleet prepared for launch, Dr. Arbutus had one last thought. What if Kevin is happy there? Generalissimo Reginald scoffed. "Nonsense. No one can be happy making Big Macs for aliens. It's against everything we stand for." And so, fueled by misinformation and a misguided sense of patriotism, Earth launched its fleet towards Glargon 7, unknowingly initiating the intergalactic conflict that would become known as the Burger War. The fate of Kevin, and the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. All over a burger. The Earth fleet, led by the valiant Generalissimo Reginald, burst through the Glargon 7 atmosphere, a squadron of fry fighters leading the charge. The patty projectiles, massive missiles shaped like perfectly formed burger patties, followed close behind, their special sauce warheads gleaming in the cosmic light. On Glargon 7, the sudden appearance of the Earth fleet caused widespread panic. The Glargonians, who had never seen anything like it, scattered in terror, dropping their Big Macs and screaming in their high-pitched voices. "What is happening?" Zorp exclaimed, rushing into Kevin's kitchen, his antenna wig askew. Kevin, who was in the middle of creating a new Big Mac flavor with seaweed and sprinkles, looked out the window in disbelief. "Those are spaceships? Shaped like burgers and fries? Earth has come for you, Kevin!" Gleepglorp cried, his 6 eyes wide with fear. "They think we're exploiting you." The first patty projectile slammed into a mountain of sesame seeds, sending a cloud of toasted seeds into the air. Fry fighters strafed the cheese sauce rivers, leaving a trail of crispy, golden brown fries in their wake. "This is insane!" Kevin shouted. "We have to stop them." He raced to the nearest communication center, hoping to contact Earth and explain the misunderstanding. But the Glargonians, panicked and confused, had already initiated their own defenses. Giant spatulas, launched from underground silos, swatted at the patty projectiles, sending them careening off course. Gravy boats, equipped with powerful lasers, fired at the fry fighters, turning them into piles of greasy ash. The burger war had begun. Kevin watched in horror as the two sides battled it out, destroying everything in their path. He realized that he was the only one who could stop this madness. He had to find a way to show both Earth and Glargon 7 that there was a better way. A way that involved Big Macs. He grabbed a microphone and broadcasted a message across the planet. Attention, Earth and Glargon 7. This is Kevin. Stop fighting. There's a better way. A Big Mac way. His message was drowned out by the sounds of explosions and the screams of panicked aliens. But Kevin refused to give up. He had a plan. A crazy, delicious plan that might just save the galaxy. Kevin, with the help of Zorp and a slightly less terrified Gleepglorp, began to put his plan into action. They needed to create something so irresistible, so undeniably delicious, that it would force both sides to stop fighting and reconsider their actions. They needed to build the ultimate peace offering, a Big Mac so large it could be seen from space. They commandeered the largest kitchen on Glargon 7, a vast hangar usually used for storing cheese sauce tankers. Using every resource available, they began construction. Giant sesame seed buns, baked in planetary ovens, formed the top and bottom layers. Mountains of beef patties, cooked by legions of Glargonian chefs, were stacked high in the middle. Rivers of special sauce, pumped through colossal pipelines, cascaded over the patties. The lettuce and cheese were delivered by giant robotic cranes, carefully placed to create the perfect Big Mac aesthetic. Pickles, the size of small cars, were strategically positioned around the burger. As the giant Big Mac took shape, a sense of awe spread across Glargon 7. Even the warring factions paused to stare at the magnificent creation. "What is that?" Generalissimo Reginald asked from his command ship, the Paddy Wagon. "It appears to be a Big Mac, sir," replied his first officer, squinting at the colossal burger. "A very, very Big Mac. Is it threatening us?" Reginald asked nervously. On Glargon 7, Kevin put the finishing touches on his masterpiece. He climbed to the top of the burger, a tiny figure against the backdrop of the enormous creation. "People of Earth. People of Glargon 7, he shouted, his voice amplified by a powerful loudspeaker. "Look at this Big Mac. It represents everything we have in common. Our love for delicious food. Our desire for peace. Let's put down our weapons and share a burger. A giant burger." He pressed a button, and the giant Big Mac began to rise, slowly ascending into the sky. As it floated into space, it radiated a beacon of hope, a symbol of unity in a galaxy torn apart by war. The fate of the burger war, and the entire universe, rested on the shoulders of a giant Big Mac. And on Kevin's ability to make people hungry. As the giant Big Mac floated into the inky blackness of space, something extraordinary happened. The burger began to emit a smell. Not just any smell, but the most intoxicating, mouth-watering aroma the galaxy had ever encountered. It was a symphony of sizzling beef, tangy pickles, sweet onions, and that unmistakable, irresistible special sauce. The fighting stopped. Fry fighters and gravy boats alike paused in mid-air, their pilots momentarily forgetting their orders. Generalissimo Reginald, aboard the Paddy Wagon, sniffed the air, his eyes widening. What is that smell?" he stammered, his stomach rumbling. On Glargon 7, the Glargonians emerged from their bunkers, their 6 eyes fixated on the giant Big Mac. They inhaled deeply, their faces softening. "It smells delicious," one Glargonian whispered, his voice filled with longing. The smell spread throughout the galaxy, reaching even the most remote corners of space. It was a siren call, a culinary invitation that no one could resist. The giant Big Mac hung in the void, a beacon of deliciousness. Both sides, captivated by the aroma, lowered their weapons. They stared at the burger, their hunger overriding their animosity. I haven't had a Big Mac in years, Generalissimo Reginald confessed, his voice trembling. I miss the taste, the texture, the pure, unadulterated joy. A Glargonian leader, gazing at the burger with a mixture of awe and desire, nodded in agreement. We all do. We have been blinded by war, but this reminds us of what truly matters. Kevin, watching from the surface of Glargon 7, smiled. His plan was working. The power of the Big Mac was undeniable. He knew that the smell alone wouldn't solve everything. There was still mistrust and animosity between Earth and Glargon 7. But it was a start. It was a chance to bridge the gap, to find common ground, to share a meal. A very, very large meal. He waited, holding his breath, hoping that the two sides would take the next step. The fate of the galaxy, after all, depended on it. All over a giant, spacefaring burger. A tense silence hung in the air. Then, slowly, hesitantly, ships from both sides began to approach the giant Big Mac. Generalissimo Reginald, in the paddy wagon, and a Glargonian leader, in a gravy-powered cruiser, led the way. They met near the burger, their ships hovering cautiously, like two wary dogs circling each other. Kevin watched from Glargon 7, his heart pounding. Generalissimo Reginald, using a grappling hook, attached a platform to the side of the giant Big Mac. He stepped onto the platform, his face a mixture of apprehension and anticipation. The Glargonian leader did the same, approaching from the opposite side. They met in the middle, near the lettuce layer, a tiny human and a short, round alien, face to face for the first time without weapons. So, Generalissimo Reginald said awkwardly, "This is, quite a burger." The Glargonian leader nodded. Indeed. It smells even more delicious up close. With a shared glance, they reached out and took a bite. Their eyes widened. It's incredible. Generalissimo Reginald exclaimed, crumbs of Big Mac clinging to his mustache. The sauce, the patties, it's perfect. The Glargonian leader swallowed, his 6 eyes shimmering. It is, the most delicious thing I have ever tasted. It reminds me of simpler times, of joy, of happiness. They both continued to eat, forgetting their animosity, their differences, their war. They were just two beings, enjoying a delicious Big Mac. As they ate, a realization dawned on them. They weren't so different after all. They both appreciated good food. They both valued peace. And they both loved Big Macs. Generalissimo Reginald extended his hand. Perhaps we have been too hasty. Perhaps we can find a better way. The Glargonian leader grasped his hand. Perhaps you are right. Perhaps, Big Macs can unite us. From Glargon 7, Kevin cheered. His plan had worked. The burger war was coming to an end. All thanks to the power of a giant, spacefaring Big Mac. And a shared love for delicious food. A truce was declared. The fry fighters and gravy boats stood down. The patty projectiles were repurposed as delicious burger deliveries to starving Glargonians and Earthlings alike. Generalissimo Reginald and the Glargonian leader, now the best of friends, organized a grand summit on Glargon 7. Kevin, the hero of the hour, was the guest of honor. During the summit, they discussed trade, diplomacy, and, of course, Big Macs. They decided to share their culinary secrets, exchanging recipes and ingredients. Earthlings learned how to make Glargonian cheese sauce, and Glargonians learned the secret to Earth's perfect pickle. Soon, intergalactic fast food chains began to pop up across the galaxy. McGlargon's, a fusion of Earth and Glargonian cuisine, became a galactic sensation. You could order a Big Mac with a side of fried Glargonian eggs, or a Glargonator with a side of crispy French fries. The burger war was over, replaced by a universal love for delicious food and a newfound appreciation for intergalactic harmony. Kevin, no longer just a fast food worker, was a galactic ambassador, traveling the stars, spreading the message of peace and deliciousness. He even got to play galaxy gladiators with the Glargonian leader, finally beating that level he'd been stuck on. Zorp and Gleepglorp were hailed as heroes on Glargon 7, credited with bringing the Big Mac to their planet and ending the war. They even opened their own McGlargons franchise, serving up Big Macs with a side of intergalactic intrigue. And so, the galaxy lived happily ever after, united by the power of the Big Mac. A reminder that even the most unlikely of circumstances, a shared love for delicious food can bridge the gap between cultures, bring peace to warring nations, and create a better, more delicious world for everyone. The end. Or is it? Perhaps there's a sequel brewing, involving pizza. Only time, and intergalactic cravings, will tell. But for now, the burger war was over, and the galaxy was at peace. And everyone was enjoying a Big Mac.